Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's June 18th. It's about 9:30 in the morning. We started hiking about 8 a.m. this morning. Left our hotel, I guess you would say, the Budget Inn in Hiawassee, and drove up to Unicoi Gap. And then we just got done climbing Rocky Mountain. It's quite a hike out of Unicoi. We took a 0 day in Hiawassee, and maybe some of you are not really familiar, so I'll go over some stuff real quick. A 0 day is just a day where you don't do any hiking. You do 0 miles. A Nero is a near zero. Other terms like Nobo, Sobo, flip-flop, yo-yo, all right? Nobo is a northbound hike. Sobo is southbound. Flip-flop is where you go one direction and then flip up to another point and then hike back towards where you left off. And a yo-yo is you do the trail twice, essentially. Do it to completion and then you come back to where you started. Essentially 4,400 mile trip. So yesterday we took a 0, and I got a crash course in some video editing. And one thing I learned, that in selfie mode on my camera, everything is a mirror image. Like, I'm holding up my left hand right now, and I thought that was kind of strange. And we're upside down. So Gigi and I, we initially planned for a Nobo hike, a northbound hike, leaving Springer Mountain, Georgia on April 2nd and going all the way to Katahdin in Maine, which is the final destination. Obviously, we started late. We started on June 12th, which is about 2.5 months later than we initially intended. And that's obviously going to cause some difficulties with us getting to Katahdin. The problem is Katahdin closes April 15th. So we're not going to make that. So we're going to have to do a flip-flop somewhere. Not sure where we're going to flip. Could be as early as Hot Springs, North Carolina. Right after the Smoky Mountains. Could be Harper's Ferry. I don't know yet. We're just gonna keep hiking until we figure it out. But right now we're really enjoying hiking in Georgia. It's painful though. Georgia don't play. Yeah. coming up on Tray Mountain Shelter. Just gonna stop off here, take a break, have some lunch, and then continue north. Hello, buddy. Right next to the trail. Good thing he's a safe snake. Alright, so I was slightly disappointed with that last snake. I missed a really good learning point, but when I see a snake, first thing I look at is the head, right? What kind of head does it have? Most vipers and poisonous snakes have people say a diamond-shaped head, but I like to say it's more like an inverse heart. And I'll look at the tail. Is there a rattle on it? Obviously, this is not a rattlesnake, so there's not going to be a rattle there. And what kind of eyes does it have? Does it have black eyes, or does it have eyes like you would see in a dragon? All of those are really indicators on whether or not it's a poisonous snake or not. This one is another harmless snake. Okay, this morning we left Hiawassee and traveled down the 17 to Unicoi Gap, which is this black parking space icon right here in the middle, mile 52.5. And then we traveled up the trail, basically going up and over Rocky Mountain, and then continuing up Tray Mountain. We stopped at Tray Mountain Shelter for lunch and ended up refilling our water at the spring that's located just down from Tray Mountain Shelter. Once we finished with lunch, we continued on down the trail, and we were planning on stopping at Ada's Gap campground. But once we got there, we decided, well, it's only another 1.5 miles to Deep Gap Shelter, and Deep Gap Shelter has a really close and reliable water source. So we pushed and tackled Kelly Knob, which was a beast of a hill. But we made it. It was 1 mile up, 1 mile down. And then we ended up right here in the middle at Deep Gap Shelter.